of silence for the victims of the Paris attacks, please. Thank you very much. Terrible. Terrible. What's going on is terrible. And when you look at what happened in that case, it was just reported, one from Syria. Our president wants to take in 250,000 from Syria. I mean, think of it, 250,000 people. And we all have heart, and we all want people taken care of and all of that. But with the problems our country has, to take in 250,000 people, some of whom are going to have problems, big problems, is just insane. We have to be insane. Terrible. And when you look at Paris, you know, the toughest gun laws in the world, Paris. Nobody had guns but the bad guys. Nobody. Nobody had guns. And they were just shooting them one by one. And then they broke in and had a big shootout and ultimately killed the terrorists. And I'll tell you what, you can say what you want, but if they had guns, if our people had guns, if they were allowed to carry, it would have been a much, much different situation. I hear it all the time. You know, you look at certain cities that have the highest violence, the highest problem with guns and shootings and killings. Chicago, as an example, toughest gun laws in the United States. Nothing but problems. So our country better get smart, because we're not smart right now. And I don't know if you noticed, but for 2 years I've been saying, bomb the oil fields, right? Because that's the source of their wealth. That's the source of their wealth. For 2 years we've been saying it, bomb the oil fields. And it's such a disgrace. So yesterday they started. Everyone would say, oh, that's a terrible thing that Trump said. He's so harsh. I always say, Jeb Bush would say, my tone, my tone. It's unbelievable. The other day I made a speech. The people in Iowa, they loved the speech. They loved it. And I talked about the deficiencies of some of the candidates. And the newspapers say, oh, it was ranting, raving. I don't rant and rave. He was so horrible in terms of what he said about, I said the truth. I didn't say anything. In one case, I said what that particular person wrote about himself. It's true. It's true. And they said he was so harsh. It was a terrible thing he said. I said what he wrote about himself. It's incredible how dishonest the press is. It's incredible. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I wanted to, you know, we're going to be talking about the wall because we're going to build a wall. It's going to be a big wall. And it's got to look beautiful because someday they'll probably end up naming it the Trump Wall. It's got to look beautiful. And people will come through the openings in that wall, and we'll have a few of them, and they'll come in, and they're going to come in legally into our country, and that's what we want. And people that are here illegally are going to have to go, and you know what? Someday they'll come back, and they'll come back through the legal process, and that's what we all want.